Good afternoon, everybody. This is Arlene again. Today I'm taking a break from making lace. A while back I posted onto another site a beautiful recipe on making aspic. And well, somebody challenged me to make it to see if it actually worked. So here I am today with my recipe book from Gourmet, my great big kettle, my chicken's feet, my beef bones, and all of the herbs is the carrots, the parsley, the celery, the turmeric, basil, and sage, and rosemary, and bay leaf, and the pink and black and white pepper, and the pink salt. And we can't forget the Madeira, which gets added once everything has been cooked down for a while. So, anyway, this is the first step for creating an aspic. Cooking, the next thing that will happen is all this gets put in that great big pot and cooked for 4 hours. After cooking for 5 hours, the bones are now out, and you can see that there is a little bit of meat on the bones, and I've tasted a little of it, and it is absolutely wonderful in its flavor. And you can see there's marrow in the bones, and I'll probably dig that out too. What is left, which has been strained, is in the pot. As you can see, the fats are starting to congeal at the top. In the morning, when the fat is completely congealed, I will remove the fat, and I may render it down to make some tallow that can be used to make a candle. So, or soap, or whatever I want to use it for. The first stage of making the aspic has been a success. As you can see, I have gel. It is so cool because it has gel. The top yellow stuff is the fat that I'm currently removing, and once I get all that off, then the next step will to create the actual aspic itself with the Madeira. Anyway, have some Madeira, my dear. The next step is to add the meat and the egg whites of 2 eggs, which you see here's the 2 eggs. Here is the meat, and here's egg white that has been beaten up. You add this to the mix, which is in the pot, and bring it to a slow boil. You bring it to a boil several times, and after that, after about 25 minutes, you strain it through a cheesecloth or a very fine sieve, and that will give you a clarified aspic. My current aspic is a bit on the salty side because I had an accident with the salt bottle yesterday. But that's okay. This is, after all, a learning process. And we learn with our mistakes. Anyway, as you can see as the solution starts to get very warm, the change in the color is starting to happen. So you know that the clarification is working. They say that you have to constantly stir it so that it doesn't get stuck to the bottom. And I can believe that that would happen for sure. I cook over a gas stove so I can really control the heat and don't let it boil over too much. Once it starts to bubble again, I will turn the heat down and then bring it back up. Here's the second time that they said that you have to do it. Once you have brought the stock to a boil the second time, then you turn it down and let it simmer for 25 minutes. Once that time has passed, then you will strain it through a cloth, a wet cloth. I am using an old dish towel that I used for my jelly making because I don't happen to have cheesecloth, and this works just fine. I have it sitting over a colander that is sitting on top of a bowl underneath. So this is my setup for how I will strain the solution once it is finished cooking. Now you can see it's really starting to change color, which is kind of an interesting experiment actually, never having done this before. And wow, look at this beautiful clear liquid. And now for the crowning glory, the 1/4 cup of Madeira. Give it a good stir. And now we allow it to set, cool and set. Once they get soft set, then we can start putting it into the mold. Hello everybody, I'm back, and look at this beautiful aspic. I put it in the fridge for about 2 hours and it has set. I do need to skim off the little pieces of fat that are around the edge, but once that is done and I let it warm up a little bit to room temperature, I will be able to put this into the mold along with the smoked turkey and the celery and the olives and the mushrooms, and we will have a wonderful dinner. I have just started the layering of the meat. You see down the bottom you've got a little bit of the jelly mix of the aspic, and then the beautiful leaves of the celery and some olives. And now it's time to put some more of the aspic on. And there you have it, folks. It's ready to go into the fridge and harden up, and then it will be dinner. Oh, I can't wait. Will my husband be surprised for dinner tonight when he gets home very late? At that point in time, we'll take the thing out of the mold and put it onto a plate, and you'll get to see how beautiful it turns out. Well, folks, here is the culmination of our experiment with aspic. I have a fruit salad. I have potatoes with parsley in them, broccoli, and as we come in closer, in the small glass is the Madeira, the bigger glass is lemonade, and look at this absolutely beautiful aspic on top of my grandmother's platter that traveled all the way across the ocean on a ship and then all the way across Canada in a buckboard wagon to Saskatchewan. I think this has been a success. We also have peas there to munch on, and there's celery in it, and olives, and the turkey meat, and the aspic itself. Now for the final attempt at what it tastes like. I already know, kind of, because I've been tasting it as we've been going along, but now we will serve it and see how we like it. And oh, by the way, you were wondering, because this was on my lay side, why it's on my lay side. Well, you see, I really do use my lace tablecloth, and this particular cloth just happened to be an oval that fits my oval table. So this is why I love lace, because it is so much fun to use for special occasions like this one. Isn't this just a beautiful piece of art? Get the layering and the colors in it. And now let's try a taste of it. Oh, this is wonderful. Bon appetit, mes amis.